Hello, welcome to our podcast, Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions, live pre-recorded from the laundry room with Smarg and Haas, where we talk with not the real guests about real life. It's all put out to dry. How are you today, Haas? How's it going over there?
I'm doing
Across
good,
the table. What's going on? What are you thinking about over there?
It's just a great day to record,
You feel you're caught up on your laundry today? You feel you're lagging behind? How you feeling?
Usually my Thursdays are laundry days, actually.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm stoked to bring my laundry over
Awesome.
on Thursdays and get them done.
It's perfect.
How are you feeling on laundry? You all caught up?
I'm feeling
Feeling
pretty
good?
caught up right now.
Yeah?
I'm feeling pretty good.
With the laundry room?
Metaphorically and, yeah. Like, I'm feeling pretty caught up in life. I'm feeling pretty caught up in my laundry.
And with the laundry room packed full of with podcast equipment, how are you feeling?
I'm loving it.
Yeah. It's
You would
very
think I'd walk in
cozy.
here and go, oh my God, I need to do it. No, I'm just like, oh, this is kind of nice. I like it. So, no, I'm loving it.
Very cozy.
I'm
in
loving
here.
it. I'm
As
loving
you
our
guys
little
can
studio.
see probably from our Instagram page, but
Yeah.
it's very cozy.
It is cozy, but I'm loving it.
So, Smarge, I have a confession.
Ooh, clean
Make.
confession. We're going to have to start through some dirty laundry. Let's air it out.
Bringing it all together. I had been recently thinking about grandparents and like parents. And to be completely honest, obviously I don't have any children of my own. I've been so confused about how you even embrace parenthood, grandparenthood, how you even like prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. It's just overwhelming to
It
me.
looks fun, but really scary.
I
Yeah,
need to talk
yeah.
to you, and I need to talk about our guests about
Yeah.
it, and I'm freaking out.
Well, don't freak out, for one, because it is a life cycle, and humans, I've been guaranteed, have been doing it for years and years and years. And that's what's kind of nice about now and today. We all get to have this opportunity to talk about it. We get podcasts. We get all different avenues to talk about things like this. Yeah, I mean, we get all types of ways to talk about it. So why not talk about it? Because that is one thing that makes us different than other animals is our form of communication.
Right. We got Papi G here as our guest today on our podcast this evening for Late Night Laundry. And we have some quick questions for him where he's here to talk to us about how grandfatherhood has been shaping in his life. And he's recently become a grandfather of actually two.
Within
Two
3 months, I
babies.
believe I read. Within 3 months.
Yeah.
Two within 3
Two
months.
boys in 3 months.
Yeah, so that's
And how many kids? 6?
Yes.
6 children, 2
Isn't it?
grandchildren.
5 daughters, 1 son.
Oh, boy.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
can you tell us their ages, what they range from, youngest to oldest?
The youngest is 2 months nearly, and the oldest is 5 months. Just over.
First, I was referring to the kids, so we could
Oh,
get an
okay.
idea of
them.
where the
I can do them.
That
I have no idea what they
He's
are.
very focused on the grandchildren.
I understand. Yeah, he's very
That's how it's
focused.
changed my life. You see,
But
I
you
just
said you
focus
had
on
6 children and you
Yeah.
only have 2 grandchildren, so I'm just wondering what the ages are.
boys 33, girl 32, 2 girls 30, 126, and 123.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, that's impressive. I don't know if I, and I know your children very well. So.
And they're all about to turn in the next few months, so their ages will change.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm 59.
Have you noticed how they're always even with even years and how they're always odd with odd years? I mean, I'm assuming from the file I just read that that's how it would work out.
That's what my wife says.
So she must be very smart. Man.
Very wise.
Yeah, she's very wise.
She could just pick that up. Yeah, I just picked that up.
She's the mathematician.
I bet she is.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, tell us about you were about to become a grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
You got the news. Tell us about your initial reaction.
The first time I found out, it was unbelievably my youngest daughter, which blew my mind.
right.
The 23-year-old. She was 22, I think, at the time. And she was going through a different phase in her life, we'll say. And we were actually at a brewery at a combined birthday party. And I'd heard rumors, and then she physically told me herself, and basically I cried.
Oh,
It's the first thing I did was cry, which everybody was expecting.
Was it tears of fear or tears of happiness?
Both.
Or just total
Both.
confusion?
Fear was one of the big factors immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then secondly I was happy for her because she's always wanted a kid. So, and she has now proved to be a great mother. So I knew that was true.
Yeah.
But initially, I think most of it, I was very fearful. I remember
So
being
how-
very frightened.
How did that fear, what did you feel when you first heard you were going to be a father? Did you feel fear then?
No, because I knew
You knew it
I was
coming.
doing it.
You
It was a plan.
So it's a different thing.
Yeah, totally different feeling.
and you were a part of that plan,
Yeah.
as opposed to when you have children and they have their own
Yeah,
children.
just-
You're not involved in that
And
at
it
all.
just spontaneously happens. You're like, oh boy, okay, here we go.
I remember always telling my partner, yeah, kids are great until they start thinking for themselves, making decisions for themselves.
Yep.
And then it sucks. It's
Yeah.
just horrible
probably
sometimes. It's
terrifying.
just terrifying. Yeah, it's just terrifying. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
But it's great until they do that. It really is.
Yeah, that brings me to my next point. How would you explain fatherhood being different from grandfatherhood, or what are some of the lessons that maybe you learned in fatherhood that you can
Ooh,
bring on
that's
to
going to take a while.
grandfatherhood? Yeah.
I would say fatherhood is totally different because number one, you really are fully committed and are responsible for that child.
Mm-hmm.
You made that child, so you are totally
You're number one.
responsible. You're number one. Nobody else is
Right.
going to step in your place, hopefully, as you are a father. So you have to do that. And then the difference, it took me a while to comprehend what being a grandfather would be like. You know, obviously you got 9 months thinking about it before the baby arrives. So over that time period,
You're actually giving yourself a lot of time.
yeah,
I mean, I don't think we find out I think when we find out there's 7 months left usually.
something like that. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part. So
Occasionally.
that's
guess it
like
was, yeah.
7 months. So I'm just saying.
So with fatherhood, I guess you got 9 months because you know
You
pretty
know
much immediately.
exactly. It's a little
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
So with
Good
this
point.
7 months or whatever it be of you thinking about it and seeing her, and that was another thing, was actually seeing her get larger and larger with pregnancy. So therefore, I don't know why, but with my wife, I didn't really worry about that. Didn't even think about it. I just thought it was great, and it was part of being a father, and that was your son or daughter inside your wife. But seeing your actual daughter get more further and further along in pregnancy was
Yeah.
quite daunting to me, and to see her body change as much, which I must not have paid that much attention to my wife. I don't know, or I just can't remember. But it's a totally different feeling. It really is something totally different.
Right.
To me, it was anyway. And with that said, then the birth she went through was pretty traumatic. It wasn't the easiest. And then she ended up having a C-section, which was nasty for her because she did, in my opinion, everything right through her pregnancy and wanted a natural birth, and it didn't happen for her and her partner, which, you know, that was sad in a way, but
Yeah.
we
that's always
overcame that.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then going on, I guess, going back to your original question about the difference between fatherhood and grandfatherhood, I can honestly say grandfatherhood didn't hit me until he was born.
Right.
Then it's real.
Right.
It's more real because you don't live. I don't live with my daughter, so you know I wasn't seeing what she was going through every day. So once he was born, then I realized that, oh my God, you know, I'm part of this guy's life. So it's time for me to be a good granddad, and I want to be a good granddad. And you know, I'm deep down, I'm a very good person, I believe, and so I just wanted to. What I want to do now is reflect that on him.
Yeah.
And it is nice not having to see him every day and put up with the normal baby stuff. I will admit to that. I love that. I see him typically in
And
when
you
he's in good
should.
spirit.
You should embrace
Yeah.
that because
And I can pass him on.
grandparenthood would be parenthood then, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. So you should embrace
And
that.
I don't want that.
And no, you shouldn't, because you've served your time.
Yeah, I've done my bit.
You've done your first round. You can
Yeah.
you can now you're on the second round.
You've done your damage. Now you can repair.
I've learned a lot from my first.
That's
from
how I
being
feel
a father.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Anyway.
your first round, your
Oh,
fatherhood
man.
is like your trial run. You,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
learn your
Like
mistakes.
motherhood, like, oh, I did my damage.
Right.
Now I can start to do a little repair work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And grandfatherhood, that's when you really shine. Well, and that's why we wanted you on too. I should have reiterated that at the beginning. Is we've really seen you blossom as a grandfather. You're loving it. You're embracing it, and you're just such a great grandfather. And it's just really, really great to see. So that's also why we wanted you on the podcast to talk about this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a family member wrote in a comment about that.
Yep.
And let me find it here. It goes something like, here it is. Love the guy, kind of wishy-washy sometimes. When it comes to a decision about the grandchild, oh no, he's on it. And it's left us with whiplash.
Yeah. No, I will
So,
be.
unquote,
Always
from
will
a
be.
family member that did write in about that. Like, it's just been, just witnessing some things they say has been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So no, it's I don't know. I'm still growing to it because it's only 5 months in. But I like we talked a little bit before we went on air. The baby stage is, it's a baby stage. It's to me, I'm more excited about when they're crawling and toddling and when you can physically
Interact with
them a little bit more. But it's getting there quicker than I thought. So that's where I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Like I said to my wife the other day about Easter, this coming Easter. This Easter is just going to be a normal Easter, because they're just babies and that. Now next Easter when they're toddling, now we're going to do some serious egg hunting, and I can do so much more. Have fun. We can have fun now, but it will be way different next year. As a good example.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Well, here's
so
a
much
question.
fun when they're that age. When they're that
Straight
young.
from the laundry room.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do Easter egg hunts, and the ones that I've been used to, they have the candy eggs, chocolate eggs, or whatever. But also you have the little plastic eggs you crack open. You can put something in there, more candy or whatever.
Yeah.
So what would you put in a plastic egg for a child 2 to 4 years old, as compared to what would you put in a plastic egg 12 to 14? Boys, you have so we'll
boys.
just stick with that
I don't know.
if that matters.
I would
that helps.
put golf balls in ones for 12 to 14.
There you
years
go.
old.
Okay,
And
that's
then,
nice.
a good
That's
one.
good.
That would be a
Okay.
first, and then candy for the little ones.
Okay.
Just candy,
Okay.
so I can have
That's
some
all
as
they
well.
want. I feel
it's
like when they're a
candy.
certain
Yeah.
age, that's all they want. I
Yeah.
guess maybe not too. I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't.
I was going to say fishing hooks for the older ones, but that's still dangerous.
I don't think fishing hooks should ever enter an Easter egg hunt. To me, that's an oxymoron almost.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh, yeah.
fishing hooks,
If
Easter egg hunt.
If you do
Small
want fishing
children.
hooks, though, unsolicited plug, but one of our good friends actually just started a fishing hook company, Catherine.
Oh, well, that's right.
Do you know her
Yeah.
as Catherine?
Yeah.
In
So
Bend,
Bend, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I
So
thought-
we'll link the website in our
and
show
shout
notes.
out to her. Good for you.
Yeah, good job,
Definitely.
Catherine.
Moving forward in
Proud of you.
life. Very
and then,
proud
and
of
then,
you.
and then I just had a thought. 14 years plus will be condoms.
There you go. There you go. He's thinking ahead. You know what he's saying? He says, "I'm going to raise gentlemen," is what he's saying. I am,
Absolutely.
you
in
gotta
my
be
opinion.
prepared.
In my
Right.
opinion, I think he's saying, "I'm going to have some talks with
That's
these
a good
grand
one.
boys, and I'm going to raise some gentlemen."
Yeah, I am looking forward to Easters and Christmases.
Oh,
when
me
they
too.
start getting
Me
just
too.
a
I
tiny
can't
bit
wait.
older
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
finally start realizing
Yeah.
what those holidays are. Because it was fun to spoil them this year, but
Yeah.
it's going to be way more fun when they
Next year.
really
Well,
start
you
getting
know,
excited about
spoiling
Christmas.
really matters when they know you're doing it, right?
Right.
And they
And-
don't know yet.
And I think the next big phase for me is when they call your name. Whether it be Papi G or my real name or whatever, it's
I
just going to be
cannot wait
phenomenal.
for that.
Phenomenal. I think that's just going to be unreal. And
Yeah.
just to see them smile when they see you nowadays is just enough for me. But it's just going to get better and better.
It really
So-
is.
I can't wait for the day when either one, any of my grandchildren look up at their parent and say, "I don't like you. Take me to Smarg."
Oh.
I can't wait. Sorry, guys, but I cannot wait. Just one of those milestones that I remember doing that to my mother, so I feel like they have to go through it too.
Yeah, I think every kid goes
But
through
I
that.
remember
They wanna
looking
go
at
to
my
their
mom
grandmas.
going, "This sucks. You call this a home? Just take me to my grandma."
Take me to grandma's. Everyone loves their grandmas. They make the
Absolutely.
best breakfast.
So I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
So moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
as
little
I sit
sidetrack
here
there.
thinking
Sorry about
no,
that.
that's good. That's good.
A little off balance, but we got it back on.
Good
yeah,
Good times.
I was gonna
Good
ask
times.
because
Good times.
I know that you have a very close relationship with your grandfather, or maybe I should say that you kind of idolize your grandfather.
Yeah.
And you kind of briefly told me about him and your relationship with him, and he, died very young in your life. But I'd like to hear from you how your relationship with your grandfather has kind of affected your relationship now with your grandchildren, and kind of about your upbringing and.
I think that goes threefold for me because I can look at my grandfather, look at my father, and then look at me as a father. And all three of those come to mind now. My granddad, I think I was like only 5 years old when he died. And I grew up in a farm in England. And I didn't until probably, I'm going to say the last 10 years, because my father subsequently passed 3 years ago. Hadn't really thought much about my grandfather, but as I've been digging into our farm in England and finding old records, etc., I didn't realize what a great person he was and what he'd done in the early 1900s.
Right.
I think was amazing. He fought in World War One. He was based in Egypt, and then he also was a military police officer in World War II. Simultaneously was running our family farm. It wasn't big.
Oh my God.
And so he had 6 children of his own. I mean, one was my father, obviously. And I just look at that and find in the records that I have found, I mean, it wasn't a big farm, like I say, but just knowing what he did as a man is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
He wasn't just, he wasn't just based in England in World War One. He was in Egypt, right in the midst of everything. So
That's crazy. That's so
and
impressive.
I look at that, and then I also look at what he did to build the family farm and what he provided for the 6 kids he had, and also what he did as he passed the farm on to my dad and his brother. It didn't get passed on to me as a working farm anyway. It got passed on to me as land. But that's a different story. So I look at my grandfather and realize what a powerful man he was. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But to me, he was.
Yeah.
So I just respect that immensely now. So I think if I can be, I have these silhouette visions of him in my mind. I just remember him wearing hobnail boots, and I could hear his hobnail boots coming down the drive and the concrete. And to me, I mean, like I said, I was only 4 or 5.
Yeah.
He was a huge man. Now, whether he was or what, I don't know.
Well, to
I
you
can't
he
remember.
was
To me,
when
he
you were
was.
that young, yeah.
And I think he came across as a very authoritative figure, very authoritative. And so having the utmost respect for him as to what he did for our family, I want to pass that. I want my grandsons to feel the same that way about me as well, so that they feel that I just wasn't this granddad that was on the couch all the time or whatever. I'm going to physically do things with them. I want to have fun with them. I want to discipline them to the extent I can, obviously with their parents being involved.
Right.
But I just want them to, and I want to show them the loving side. I don't want them to grow up to be idiots. I want them to grow up to be loving. I don't care what they do in the future and who they are in the future, as long as they're not idiots.
Yeah.
So if I can pass some of that on in what time I have remaining on this earth, then great.
Yeah.
Idiots,
all I want.
meaning when you're saying idiot, can you define it more? Do you mean more like not being compassionate, or are you talking more like?
I'm talking more like being respectful to other human beings,
Gotcha.
being respectful to his mom and dad, and also to me and my wife.
Right.
And anybody else around them.
And the
It doesn't
family.
matter who it is. And I want them to have that family spirit.
Yeah, and honestly, knowing you for, I mean, I would say I know you pretty well. I think you instill that in almost anyone that you meet. I wouldn't even say that's necessarily a grandfather grandchild trait. I would say that you instill that in almost everyone you meet.
Oh, good.
So it's just a
Thank you.
general respect between people, and it's not, something to take lightly. You have to treat everybody with general respect, and there's no other way to live your life.
I will add this. I didn't know if I want to talk about this, but I will add this. But being an alcoholic and now being sober for 2 years, 8 months, I believe, something like that. That's made my brain feel a lot different.
First, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's amazing.
2 years,
I didn't realize
8
it was
months.
that long.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
But-
awesome.
Now being sober and not an idiot, because I will call myself an idiot through those times, I don't know. It's given me another different perspective, and a grandson's coming in on that in my sobriety is especially good. There's a lot of people probably find that who are in AA. It just gives you that. It's another catalyst for me to remain sober.
Yeah.
It's not just, I'm not just sober for the one of being sober. I'm sober for a lot of people and especially for me. But
Yeah. But it's not just for you.
No, I
There's
mean,
so many more
But
people.
it's kind of like putting your oxygen mask on first, because you have a chance of saving more people
Right.
if you're breathing correctly.
And now you have so many more people to save.
Yeah.
You have so many more people that are in your life that mean so much to you that.
And they say in AA, they say that as you get sober, things come into your life for different reasons. And this is a good one. This is a great one for me that, 2 grandsons all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Why not? Let me use it. Let me use them as well
Yeah.
to help me. So
That timing is kind of impeccable
Yeah.
too. I mean,
I'd never really
imagine
thought of it till we sat here talking
Yeah,
about
me
it. But it's
neither.
a good thing,
Imagine if you, weren't quite sober yet and you were still kind of experiencing those struggles and you had these new baby grandchildren. I just wonder how different you would be perceiving these new lives, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously
Did your
still the
wife ever
same.
comment on that during your drinking days about what would happen when grandchildren come around or anything
Who
like
said?
that?
Who?
Your wife? Did your
Yes.
wife ever
Yeah.
comment about
Yeah,
it? Just
she did.
is anything
Yeah.
you want to share? Or? I
Uh,
was just wondering, another person in your life you probably talked about being a grandparent with in the future, and
No, one thing I always remember is, and still to this day, is like when my drinking was at its worst, she would always tell me she wouldn't want me around her grandchildren the way I was. And I don't blame her. I
That's
don't
hard
blame
to
her
hear,
one bit.
though. Yeah.
It's hard to hear, but it's true.
Yeah.
So now she doesn't have to worry about that. And I don't. So let's use that sobriety
Well,
to its benefit.
sounds like you gave her a gift.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I think I did. Yeah.
I bet
I
you
did,
did.
yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
And the whole family and yourself. I mean, that
Absolutely,
wasn't
yeah.
necessarily only
Oh,
for.
Yeah,
And I think
exactly.
and
yeah,
my
the
daughters,
whole
and my
family.
daughters would say the same. What my wife said. I mean, probably not as strongly as they, because I'm their father, but I think they would be the same because they've matured more as well. So it's good.
Yeah.
So I am an official babysitter for one of them.
Why not?
I'm
Who's-
very excited. I
best-
just got my official babysitting job request.
You did.
I did. It comes up this Friday
Congratulations.
for an hour and a half.
Oh boy.
I know. So I'm looking forward to that. It's the first one that I've been officially asked on.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exciting. You'll have to
So I know what you mean.
tune
Yeah.
in next week to hear how Smarg is.
Yeah, I hope Smarge does well. Okay. That's what we're
Let's hope
rooting
so.
for. That's what we are rooting for.
But no, it's, like, and then I look at my dad because my dad's passed. I don't know. Me and my dad had a different relationship. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. But I think mentally, when I look at it, I was different than him in a few ways, but I don't want my grandsons to feel the same about me as the way I feel about my dad. And again, it's not terrible, my dad. It's just we I think probably grew apart even in
Yeah.
a funny type of way. But I did leave England, and,
Right.
so it wasn't all him either. But
Hard to stay.
Well, how
close.
was his relationship with his grandchildren, with your
Oh.
children? So how was that? Was
Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't ask for
that?
better.
Oh wow! So
Couldn't ask for better.
Yeah.
so completely opposite of what you felt you
Yeah.
experienced.
Yeah, totally different, I think.
So right. So you do say that he was a great grandfather.
I couldn't have asked for more.
Just skipped a beat on the.
Well, or was it me? I still go through times of was it me or was it him or was it just a pair of us?
As Haas
the
just said
timing.
early, timing
Yeah.
is impeccable. Timing, but timing is everything in a
No,
way. That's
I
what makes
would-
it timing in a way, right?
I would never take anything away from my dad. He was the best grandfather ever. He
Oh,
was
that's
phenomenal.
nice. That is nice.
So and then that's a good point because looking at him as a grandfather, if I could replicate
Oh,
what he instilled in my son and daughter, I would love to feel that way
Yeah.
as a grandfather.
Yeah.
From what I saw.
Wow.
So that's a good point.
well, we have to hold off a minute. I just felt like your father may have just given you a gift,
Yeah, that's probably one of
yeah.
the silent gifts I don't
and
realize.
maybe it's,
Yeah.
I hear your father hasn't probably given you a lot of gifts.
No, but that's
But,
a good
oh
one.
my gosh! And you said he's been gone how many years now?
I think it's 3 this April.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, 3.
Well, I think you should embrace that gift.
That's beautiful.
I do too.
Yeah.
I
think it's
really
a good
do. I
point.
think you just received a gift,
Yeah, I think it's a great point because
and I'm happy here to witness it.
Yeah.
How about you, Haas?
Too. Oh my gosh. Look at us.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
I even
Yeah.
have kind of goosebumps. It's the Irish. Isn't it about to be St. Patty's Day?
It is. Yeah.
Friday.
It's the Irish fairy just came
Yeah.
through.
But no, that's a really good point. I mean, yeah, I
That's
would
great.
Wow. So
if I could replicate him as a grandfather, I would think that'd be great.
Yeah.
what a circle.
Yep.
Well, and kind of to follow up on that, what has been probably the best parts of fatherhood or of grandfatherhood?
I think it's still young. I think they're
Yeah.
only 5 months in, but
That's
what I could have experienced over the last 5 months is just seeing the growth, just
Yeah.
as they physically grow, as they mentally grow, as they become alert more. That's the piece I love, and I think looking at it, I think that's where you can start to build a good relationship, even though you don't get any. I wouldn't say reward's a hard word, but even though there's no physical or emotional reward at this time, there are the smiles, which are good. That's a great reward.
Smiles make a world
Yeah,
of difference.
they're great reward. But right now, what I love seeing, again, goes back to the smiles and just
Yeah.
seeing the happiness and just seeing them.
Yeah.
That's simple as that.
It really is.
Yeah, nothing's
Especially
it.
when they're this young. They're
Yeah.
so stinking cute.
Yep. So, and I like taking the mickey out of him. Like, my first grandson is totally bald still, and I love just asking him about what barber he goes to. And I'd like to go to the same one maybe one day. And then the other one's got a head full of hair,
I know.
and he's 2 months behind him. So
Oh,
it
it's
just blows my
crazy.
mind. And yeah, but yeah, I just like joking around with him and having fun with him. And
Yeah.
another rewarding part right now is the feedback from my daughters.
Oh, yeah. I bet that's
seeing
really nice.
seeing my daughter and their partners happy that I'm there, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
in a way. I mean, that's more of a reward for me, but that's the part I like the most. But it's also
That's really nice.
real
though.
good. It gives me a lot of spirit and want to just do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am excited for toddler stage, I have to admit.
So yeah, that brings me to another question. How has your relationship with your daughters changed since
Oh.
they've given birth? Because you've obviously been very close with them.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I believe, and I think they would admit, it's enhanced it immensely.
Yeah.
I think my relationship has been enhanced immensely. Like, one grandson will calls us nearly every day, I think.
yeah,
FaceTimes.
yeah,
No, he's not getting anything out of it, but we're all getting
Yeah.
a lot out of it. And, I didn't speak to my daughter that much, as much as I do now as I did before.
right. Not every day.
Not every
like you
day.
do now.
So,
right.
it's just, and, we're excited. We're taking them both to Mexico here shortly. That's going to be quite a daunting trip for all of us, I think, but it's going to be fun
Yeah,
because I think, we don't have any baby equipment in Mexico right now, so
but you'll probably need it.
we're going to be getting it quick. So,
And I guarantee that your next few daughters are going to start rolling out some kiddos.
oh yeah,
in the near future too. So that's gonna
Can I
go to good
suggest-
use.
Maybe YouTubing some ways to baby proof.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
might give you an idea of what to take with you.
Do you
Yeah.
think you need to baby proof the house down in Cabo then?
You mean
That
the
you're
So,
visiting?
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
all I know
Yeah.
about Mexico is most of their homes made of pure concrete.
Yep.
And then maybe some heavy wires in there every
Yeah.
year. Yeah. Rebar, I think they call it, maybe. Yeah. Wow. How do you baby proof
No idea.
concrete?
I haven't got a
I
clue.
wonder.
That's gonna be a challenging one. We might have to have you back.
What do they
Give
call
us
you
a-
again? Papi G.
Papi
So
G.
Papi G. Yeah, I would YouTube. What do
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah, how do you
Maybe
baby
a little-
proof those?
I'm okay.
Maybe one of those ball pits that just, you just can fold it out and just throw a whole bunch of rubber balls in there and just let them be in there.
They'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's ended up being kind of a bulky load, guys. I didn't realize how intense some of these conversations were gonna get.
Look how, just talking about babies, I'm developing a theory about babies that I'm keeping to myself until I put more into it. But
Okay.
it just amazes me what one little human that we don't even really know. I mean, we've grown to love them.
Barely
don't get
know
me
'em,
wrong.
though.
But we don't know them.
Right.
They're not even them yet, right?
Right.
They're not even
We
them
don't
yet.
even know who they are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yet they come into our lives and all of a sudden we have someone like Papi G talking about grandfatherhood, his relationship with his father, his grandfather, alcoholism, AA, being sober. I mean, babies, I think we need to pay more attention when they come into the world. I used to think they were kind of a blank slate and we were in charge, and I think they're bringing a lot more than that.
Well, and I think, they are so much more sponges than I realized. Like, even at
yeah.
this age, they're only 5 months old. You said
Yep.
one
Yep.
of your grandchildren's only 5, and the other one's only 2 or 3 months old.
2 months, I think.
Yeah. But they are absorbing everything.
Totally,
I didn't
totally.
really think about that, and I thought it was only toddler or elementary school age. But even as babies, even as infants, it's everything. Their entire world is getting absorbed into their brain.
And I'm convinced that starts in the womb.
It does.
I'm
No,
not
it
sure
totally
when.
does.
But
I don't.
with my recent
I don't want to get
experience
political.
with,
I don't know.
with little Monk, I would say when he was in his mommy's tummy, "Hey, little Monk, it's me, Smarg. Hey, little Monk." And there for a while, I swear that was the only way I could get his reaction.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Really.
Right after he was born.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the same thing with little Al.
Well, they
"Hey,
can't
little Al,
hear. They
it's
can't hear
Smarg.
voices in
Hey,
the
little Al,
womb.
it's me." And when he's really upset, he'll stop for a minute, wait.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, wow, that's what I think.
Yeah. That's crazy. Babies are so crazy to me. It's unreal. It's so nice.
That's why I think
I'm
we
an
should
aunt,
pay more
actually,
attention,
So
or-
it's nice watching my little nephew grow up. And
Right.
watch him change and grow. But that's really been my only experience with babies. But it's kind of been very similar. They just grow so quickly and they absorb so quickly.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
But yeah, it was one of the last questions I was going to ask you, Papi G, was about if there was any pieces of advice that you would offer to new grandparents or maybe even new parents too, or is there anything that you could offer to them that
I can't do the parents. but,
Why not?
Oh,
Because
no,
they
that's
won't
too
listen.
much. They don't
It'll
listen.
just
Yeah,
be between
Yeah.
all the old people. The young people aren't going to listen anyway. But
And I've
I
done
would
my
love
bit
to
on
hear.
parenting, so I'm just going to go straight to
Good for
grandparents.
you.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
I believe just embrace it, because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to be a granddad or not.
it's kind of scary? I
I
imagine.
mean,
Yeah.
I admit, but then, yeah, just embrace it, because once it happens, it is a fantastic thing. And a lot of people, even my wife and I think my daughters, were very skeptical of whether I'd be a good granddad or not.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I was the best father, so I think they were a little bit skeptical. And like my wife said, she'd never seen that side of me. She's never seen that side of me with young babies or anything, because we never had children together. But we
Right.
had young children, stepchildren, or my stepchildren, I guess you call them, but I don't call them stepchildren. They're my daughters to me.
Right.
So just embrace it, because it's great, in my opinion. I love it. I really do. And I think another piece of advice would be to just, even if you don't have the best relationship with your daughter or son or whoever it is, it's a good time to use this as a new stepping stone and a new path so that you maybe can make that relationship better. Who knows? Give it a
Power
go.
of babies. The power of babies and puppies.
But don't have too many. I don't agree on lots.
Right. That's good
Well,
advice.
yeah,
That's very
that's-
good
I'm
advice.
just saying, like, he is paying attention. You know, he's had a couple little ones come into his life recently, and it sounds like he's really, like, almost like they are teaching him
Oh, definitely.
in a way, right?
Great point. Yeah.
Which
Oh my
the
gosh.
power of
Yeah.
babies in
That
a way,
reminds-
you know?
That reminds me of those like foster puppy stickers that you get, like who rescued who.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, true. That's a good
Oh,
one. Yeah.
yeah, that would be
Yeah, I like that.
Papi G rescued by my
Yeah.
But
grandboys.
no, it's true. I just feel like new life gives a completely new perspective on your own life. And no matter how old you are, whether you're a father or a grandfather or a great grandfather or a great grandmother or what have you, when a new life comes into your, surrounding people and in your surrounding life, it brings a whole different perspective. You have a whole different perspective on everything you do in life, and you value different things, and you would act completely different, honestly, than you normally would. I mean, I know
Absolutely.
I have as an
Yeah.
aunt. I take
Yep.
very different decisions just based on this one tiny little life that I barely know.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly amazing.
It's
Yep.
insane.
When we're not in their lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we're not.
But
Right.
they are impacting us in a huge,
So
huge
greatly.
way.
Oh,
In a huge positive way, it sounds like, for all of us.
100%. Yeah. They're beautiful creatures. It's
And I
amazing.
remember when I was just recently, like, I just could hear my dad. My dad loved being a grandparent. And all of a sudden, I just heard his voice. And he did say this with me. I heard it 5 times. One with my half-sister and then my 4 children. Right after they were born. He'd behold them and goes, "Oh, my God, this is what it's all about, right?" Almost sounding like a little kid, but really sounding like an adult, like an old man
Yeah.
in a way, like, this is, but just the way he would say it was like almost a question, but no, I know this for sure.
And he would say that every time you.
I
gave
remember
birth.
it, and it was a weird flashback, and I didn't have it until my first grandchild.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh my God," and I just heard his voice say,
Isn't
"This
that-
is what it's all about, right? Right?" And I'm like, "Right. You're right. It's full circle. It's almost like life is making its full circle."
Yeah, and isn't it crazy how, your father said that so many times to you and it only resonated? It changes your perspective entirely.
It just opens up another part of you that was
Yeah.
really already there, kind of.
but you
But
never
then this
really
little
thought
guy comes
about it
in,
when
or
you
this
were in the
little
moment.
human comes in, and all of a sudden, all these avenues are
Right.
opened.
Yeah, it just changes everything. It really does. And to your point earlier, Papa G, that holidays are way better with kids.
Oh, yeah.
They're so
Yeah, what are
much
we doing? Why are we
fun.
even celebrating holidays with no kids? Like, why don't
Honestly-
we just, like, go, we're going to sit this one out?
It seems so
It's almost like
bland
going to
think
Disneyland
about
with
it.
no other reason other than you're an adult that wants to be in Disneyland.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, you're
though.
going to do it, but you're like, I'm a little embarrassed.
Yeah, it's
But you're right. Holidays,
They change
and
everything.
Halloween, that's my favorite holiday.
me too.
And I want to make their costumes. They're going to have costume changes like mid-block. Like where the big,
different costumes.
hey, I'll catch you right behind the big box hedge, okay? And they're going to do act 2.
You would do that. I know you would. That'd be hilarious. No, that's wonderful, and thank you so much
Thank you.
for Papa G for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, what kind of cycle would we, laundry cycle would we rate this?
Yeah, this
'Cause it
one I
just
thought was
been-
a normal cycle.
Me too,
but
and it just went
this
everywhere.
Might be a
But
heavy
it's
load. This one got a
heavy
little rocky.
load that came out great, nice, light, and fluffy.
No stains, not a single stain left.
No,
We
Nope.
cleaned
Well,
all
I don't know
those
about
stains.
that.
and it's gone through the dryer cycle, and we have fluffy
Wrinkle-
back.
wrinkle-free?
It's wrinkle
Yeah.
free, and we have fluffy, like that white, fluffy, good smelling feeling.
Yeah,
Good.
this-
Like a
this-
baby.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
There
the
you go.
sensitive, the delicate look.
And
of
that
the
is
baby.
a full cycle.
Thank you.
Oh, that was good. No, but thank you. Thank you so much, Papi G, for being on. And
hey,
we'll
keep
have you on
notes.
for another
Yes,
time.
I can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah, hopefully next week. I think we have quite a few different guests coming up that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, we
so-
even have a Olympia downskill.
That's a new skill.
That is a new skill. Got to work on that enunciation. Okay, so that would be a down.
Hill.
Skier.
Thank you.
Downhill skier.
This is why you need a team sometimes. Like I was not going to be able to
Should be a down skier hill.
Team
And I
effort.
believe, I'm not sure, like, I believe back then the Olympics were every 4 years.
They still are.
I don't. No, I heard it, like, went to 2 years. Like,
No.
There's
and then-
there's summer Olympics and
Summer
Winter
You know,
Olympics.
that wasn't like that a long time ago.
It was.
It was. Always has been.
You know what? I love you, Papa G, and I want you to be our guest again, but I'm going to challenge that. I really am.
All right.
Something changed with
looking it
the
up.
Olympics that went to 2 years or every other.
No.
To be
I
honest,
feel like
Marge,
I'm being.
I want to
anyway.
be on your side, but I
Okay,
think,
and I understand.
I think I'm with
I
Papi
am
G on this.
calling. What do you call it?
A mulligan.
Yeah, we'll just call it a mulligan for now. And we'll look this up and then we'll revisit the. And I will come right on and go, oh, damn, I don't know what I was drinking those 4 or 5 years that I made that up. Maybe it was, I don't know. But I will come back and I will admit I'm wrong. But no, I think something was voted on or something was going on.
You might be right. Let's look
And
it
here
up.
we are in Colorado, you know, and the Olympic training headquarters is right up Colorado Springs. So maybe we
But-
get more news than.
Just 1 point. We're not all as old as you, so you mean a
That
lot
could
more
be.
than
That is true. That is true. That is true. No one really knows how old I am.
me. True.
Papi G coming in.
Yeah, as you can tell, like Papi G is a
Okay.
young.
He's
Yeah,
our young,
he's just a.
he's our young
I wish.
stallion.
Yeah,
I
he's
wish.
he's the young grandpa that everybody goes. He's the grandpa. Are you sure?
Yeah.
You know,
Not
that's
the
what he
dad.
is. We know. Someday we'll be on YouTube. I can't wait. But
Yes.
visit our Instagram. You'll see a picture of Papa G.
Yeah, I'm taking a picture of him as we speak.
Yeah.
Papi
So-
G, but he'll be back.
Okay.
We have actually
Oh,
quite
yeah.
a few different topics we want him
Absolutely.
to talk about. He's a very interesting man, and we're
Oh, he's been
so grateful you were able
he's
to
been
make
a
the
great
time
not the
to-
real guest. He's been a
Definitely.
great not the real
Thank you.
guest.
We're so glad to have you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Pleased I'm here doing your laundry.
Yeah.
No,
Well, no, we're doing your
Oh,
laundry.
you're doing my laundry. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're
bring your
also
laundry
figuring out
back.
your laundry.
Yeah.
I mean, come
I got
on.
a lot
We
of it, I
folded
can
your
tell you
laundry.
that. I've got
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
We do. We have a lot of laundry, but we'll sort through it. We sorted through that good.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good sort.
Yeah.
Good.
Went off balance for a second, came back on. I'm feeling
And
good.
now she's nice and clean, wrinkle free.
Well, I hope our listeners are feeling good like us. We're feeling pretty
Bit
good.
like my wife.
Fluffy?
Fluffy, wrinkle-free.
Wrinkle-free? So he married himself a young one. Huh? That's what I hear. That's
Yeah,
what
she
I'm hearing.
sounds hot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Found her on the hot cycle.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, back to it was a great time. I hope our listeners had fun too.
Thank you for listening to Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. Follow us on Instagram at Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions. And if you would like to be the next Not the Real Guest, please email us at dirtylaundrycleanconfessions@gmail.com. We would love to air out the dirty laundry with you.